Let's talk about the Galaxy Fold in 2024. Now, I'm just wondering, is there anybody out there actually using this device? I mean, I know it got to be somebody out there. Please let me know in the comment section. Are you still rocking the Galaxy Z? I mean, the Galaxy Fold. Remember, it was just called the Galaxy Fold. Now, they didn't start doing the Z stuff until they got to the 2. So you got the Galaxy Fold, the Z Fold 2, then the Z Fold 4. Of course, you had the Z Fold 3, but I never had that device. But let's talk about this Galaxy Fold. This was the original Fold. Now, as far as I know, this was the first Fold that was put on the market. Or I would say at least here in the United States. I can't speak for outside of the United States because I don't know. But as far as I know, this was the first foldable put on, the market. And, for a first time, Samsung did pretty well. I have to admit. Now, of course, the phone was just crazy expensive when it was released. And I think it was ridiculously priced, honestly. I mean, I know it was new technology and you got, the phone folds in half. And I understand that. 2 screens and, the money and the work it took to put into this device. I understand that. But $2,000, I mean, seriously, like nobody was going to spend that kind of money for this device. Not the average person, not even the real tech people. I mean, only the people that was going to spend that much money is actually those people that actually could afford something like that. And why would you spend $2,000 on a smartphone? Like, that's just crazy. But that's how much this cost. $2,000 plus tax. Now, I will say this. Samsung did a pretty good job with their first try at this, honestly. I mean, they ain't do too bad. My 2 biggest gripes, well, I had a few gripes. Let me just tell you what these are real quick. This front display was just too small, as you can see. It's just too small. It's just real teeny. Now, think about that compared to the Z Fold 4. I mean, like I said, I know it was their first time, but this thing was just way too small. They definitely could have made it bigger, but maybe they were just, working their way up, so you'll have something to look forward to, I guess. Second thing is this, let me show you real quick. This right here, this notch where the camera's at, that just looked really bad. I mean, unless you're using a dark background, like a wallpaper, then that's an eyesore. I mean, but you eventually got used to it eventually, but I didn't like that. Next thing, no SD card support. Now, you're going to charge me $2,000 and I can't even expand the storage. That was weak. I didn't like that at all. Next, no headphone jack. Did not like that. $2,000? Come on. You could at least give me a headphone jack. Next, no IR blaster. Didn't like that. Keep in mind, $2,000. Okay? Now, and the wireless charging, 10 watts. Like, seriously? That's a joke. And 15-watt wired charging. That's way too slow. Especially, like I said, $2,000. That is a lot of money, y'all. Okay? Now, I didn't spend that. I think I paid probably $5 for this. I waited till that price went way, way down. Then I got this because I always really did want a foldable phone. So I waited till that price dropped $1,500. Then I went and got it. But anyway, now the things they did right, let me talk about those really quick. Things they did right, the speakers on here are great. I love these speakers. Now let me let you listen to a little bit of this movie real quick so you can hear it. Let me see. Now I hope it's coming good through on the mic. Now, let me say this. And I'm being serious, sorry. The speakers on this Galaxy Fold sound better than the Z Fold 4. Also, the speakers on the Z Fold 2 are better than the Z Fold 4. I don't know what Samsung did, but they did something weird and they made the speakers less louder or whatever. They just something's different about the speakers on here, the Z Fold 2 and the Z Fold 4. They're just not as good. These speakers on here were great. So they did right with the speakers. Next thing they did right, they did give this the reverse wireless charging, which was nice. Okay. That was a good thing. Next thing they did right, they gave this 512 gigs of storage, which I actually thought it should have been a terabyte just based on that price alone. But they gave it 512. I can live with that. I can live with that. Next, they gave you a nice presentation. Okay, you got a charger in the box. You got a case in the box. And you got some wired earbuds in the box. And the box, like, folded kind of out, like the way it folded in the phone, kind of raised up out of the box. Like, that was cool. So the presentation with this device was excellent. I loved it. But, and I'll say they did right with the display. The display is absolutely beautiful. And they separated the display. So you could have two separate displays. You could set your display up different out here, and you could set it up differently in here. And you see how fast it transitions from the front to the inside. Very, very quickly. Sometimes with the Z Fold 4, there's a slow transition, and I don't know why that is, but that annoys me. It's like a little delay. Sometimes it's delayed more than that. But this is just instant. Like, soon as I hit this thing and I open it up, I can open it up real fast. Boom. You see how fast it comes up? Let me try. I'm gonna open up this one real fast. Let me see how fast it See now all of a sudden on camera it wants to actually do it quickly, but normally there's always some like slight delay. I don't like it. But anyway, back to this. Now, let me say this. The only thing to me that kind of went down with this device since I've had it is the hinge. The hinge is not as good. See? The hinge. Now it'll stay open for you. Okay? But of course, this device did not have flex mode. There was no flex mode. So that's not the biggest deal. Because, you know, with this, of course, with the Z Fold 2, you got, you know, the hinge was way, way better. Nice and stiff, but smooth. It's great hinge. Actually, I think the hinge on here, in my opinion, is better than the Z Fold 4. Now, it's a little stiffer, and I think I like that feeling that it's stiffer. Now, the phone is just much easier to open. It's a lot quicker and smoother to open on here. But if you had the 2 and you have the 4, you'll understand what I mean, how this feels just a little bit better. Like it feels more stiff. It feels like it'll last a lot longer. It's just hard for me to explain that, but those are just facts. Seriously, okay? Now, back to the Galaxy Fold. All right, so what else did they do right? The display. The display is still absolutely beautiful. Even after 4 years like this. Wait a minute. This came out in 5 years. This came out in 1919. Yeah. No, 2019. I'm sorry, y'all. 2019. So this thing is old. The only issue I'm having is the hinge. But like I said, once you open it up, it'll stay open. You know, you put a kind of case on it with a stand. Now I keep this in the case because the front display looks really weird when it don't have the thing. Let me take it off and let me show it to you, because this is 2 pieces. You see how stupid that looks with them big giant thick bezels? How dumb that looks. So putting this on here makes it don't look so bad because it covers up those bezels, so it don't look as bad. But it is very, very small, and you can see how they went from the Z Fold to the Z Fold 2. You know, they definitely made the screen so much bigger. But then from this to the Z Fold 4, even bigger. This is just much better, but still Samsung needs to make this a little wider. I'm not saying for everybody, because there's a lot of people that like it this size. They don't want it any wider, and that's okay. We're all different. We're just all different. We all just like, things differently. And you can see that the Z Fold 2 is a little bit taller than the Z Fold 4. But this is a considerably heavier device. This feels like a big, heavy brick in your pocket. Much, much lighter, easier on your pocket, easier to hold in your hand for a long period of time without any hand or arm fatigue. But once again, back to the Galaxy Fold. Excellent display, outside or inside. Now with the button configuration, you got a power button along with the fingerprint sensor and your volume rockers. See the difference on the Z Fold 4? Your power button and your fingerprint sensor is combined, and then you got your volume rockers, which I think that makes sense, because a lot of times I actually be pressing, when I'm using this, I'll be pressing the fingerprint sensor thinking it's the power button, and it's not. See, they changed it on also with the Z Fold 2. They just gave you the fingerprint sensor and the power button combined and your volume rockers. But on here, you can see you got the fingerprint sensor, the power button, and then your rockers. So they did it better when they just, embedded both the fingerprint sensor and the power button together at the same time. Now, like I said, I still use this device every single day. I really do. I'm watching content on it every single day. I use it for a clock. I just love this display. Like, you can't even see the crease unless you put it at a certain angle. Then you can see it, but you really have to put it at a weird angle where the light hits it in a certain way you can see it. But when you're looking at the device dead on, you're not going to see that crease. And it's a deep crease, but you're not going to see it when you're looking at the phone. Looking at the display dead on, you're not going to see it. Now, with backgrounds like this is not that bad, but keep in mind, you got two cameras on the inside. With this device, the Z Fold 2 and the Z Fold 4, you only have one camera, but on here you had two. So you had two on the inside, you had three on the rear, and then you had one on the front. So you had a bunch of cameras on this device. And the cameras on here were okay. They weren't great, but they were okay. Check out this. Let me show y'all. So I want to show y'all this live wallpaper that I had for the see that live wallpaper? Oh, wow. I don't know how they. Oh, okay. Hold up. Let me see if I can. New York City. Love that. Now on the front, I had something very unique too. I really like this one, this live wallpaper. See, I said two different ones. But for some reason, because of software, I can't use this. I pay for this. I can't use it on my Z Fold 4 because the software is not compatible. And I really like that live wallpaper, but I cannot use it on the Z Fold 4. And that really annoys me. It really annoys me. I don't like that at all. But this was a very well built device. Feels very premium, very comfortable to hold in the hand. Like I said, it's very small and compact. Actually, the Z Fold 2 was considerably heavier than this phone. It's like they started out with a decent weight, then they went super heavy, and then I guess with the Z Fold 3, maybe they got a little lighter. I'm not sure because I never had a Z Fold 3, but the Z Fold 4 is clearly lighter than all of these devices. Okay, but the screen got much bigger. Not much bigger, but it definitely got much bigger with the Z Fold 2 as opposed to the original Fold. But like I said, my only issue, really, biggest issue, is the hinge is just, it's just not, it was their first try, and you knew this hinge wasn't going to last all that, it wasn't going to be stiff forever. But I'll say this. I'm impressed. Samsung did such a great job with the display because there's been no peeling and no cracking with this display at all. Nothing. Look at it. I don't even have any scratches on this display. Like nothing. You can see the crease, but no peeling, no cracking, no nothing. Like this device has held up, and I can't tell y'all how many times I opened and closed this thing over the years. I've had this thing for like 3 years, and I've had no issues with the display whatsoever. None. Fingerprint sensor still works good. The speakers are still great. Cameras are just okay. They don't compare to the cameras with the 2 and the 4. Plus, the 4 is by far the best cameras when it comes to the folds that I have. Like I said, I didn't have the 3, but I know they're better than the 3. But I'm sure the 5 is probably better. But no, the 5 shouldn't be that much better because the 5 actually have the same cameras as the 4. So these cameras are definitely excellent. These cameras are just okay. They're just okay. If you're a person that don't really take photos, then you're not gonna really care. But if you want something that the battery will still gets me through a full day, but the speakers are great on here. The battery, I mean, it's only 4,300 milliamp hours, so, but it's still it. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, y'all. This thing just got so. I hit this thing and then everything just got crooked and this is the first time I actually had to stop filming for that because I had to readjust everything. But back to the Galaxy Fold. This still the display is excellent. The speakers are excellent. It still operates pretty quick. I mean, it's not as smooth because this doesn't have 120 hertz, but it still loads up apps pretty quickly. I mean, this device really hasn't slowed down, honestly. I mean, of course, it's not as fast as my Z Fold 4, and it shouldn't be because there hasn't been any updates to the software. This software is old, but it still works pretty good. As you can see, everything boots up pretty good. It's not super slow or anything like that. I mean, it's slow compared to what the new stuff I have, but it's not slow to the point where I'm like, oh man, this thing is taking forever. There's a bunch of lag. No, it's not like that. You seeing for yourself. These apps are opening up pretty quickly. See? Some apps open faster than other apps, but all the apps open up relatively quick. So the performance on here is still good. If you're still using this, it's still good. It'll be very difficult to even find this right now, honestly, because it's just so old, but I'm sure you may be able to find it on eBay. I'm sure you're not going to find it on Amazon. I seriously doubt it. But like I said, I still use it. I think the display is just so beautiful. The speakers are really great. Oh, you also have Samsung DeX on here. And of course, you got all the other Samsung, like edge panels, edge lighting, secure folder, all the Samsung software that you have on other phones, you have on this one too, except for anything really, really new. But I mean, this still has like One UI. So let's check and see what version of One UI this is actually using here. Of course, it's super old. Yeah, it's using 4.1.1. Okay, Android 12. And the last security patch was in 2022. Now, that's not to say that the phone is not secure because it still is. Let's look at that really quick. So you got battery and device care. So let me see. Is there a security thing? Okay. Okay, hold up. Yeah, it's battery and device care right here. So I think you go down to enhanced processing, software updates. Hold up. No. Maybe I do have to go to security. Okay. Hold up. Let's try security. Let me see. I know like it doesn't have the latest, but I'm trying to see if it still has that same software. The same security stuff in place that I had on my other one. But I can't. I was trying to see if I can check and run a security scan, but I know there's a way to do it. But I don't want to waste too much of y'all time here trying to figure that out. Let me see. I know it's a way to do it on here, but I haven't checked it in so long. Digital well-being, advanced features. Let me see. Safety, emergency, permissions. I thought it would be in biometrics and security, but it's not. So maybe on this one it's just not available. Because I know it was usually with the device care. Let's see, performance, software update. No, of course you're not getting no updates. Yeah, maybe this just doesn't have those settings that those other phones have because it's just so old. So like I said, I pretty much just use this for video content, things like that. So let me know in the comment, section if any of you all out there are still using the Galaxy Fold. I still like this device. I'm going to keep it. It's the original foldable that came out in the market in the United States. Of course, I had a really nice time with my Z Fold 2. It worked great for me. No issues with this one at all. Zero issues. Only thing, my biggest issue with this, they took away 512, gave us 256. And also, they took away the case in the box. They took away the earbuds in the box and just gave you a charger, which I didn't like at all. I didn't like that at all. But they gave us a bigger outer display. They gave us 120 hertz on the inside. Improved the cameras. The hinge definitely better, much better. You had you had that flex mode on here. Of course, you have it on the fours also, and you got faster charging at 25 watts. So they did make some nice improvements with the two, but they made the device so heavy. I mean, really, really heavy. So when I went to the 4, because the 2 and the 3 were pretty similar, except it was a little lighter. Hinge was a little smaller, but and the camera was a little bit better. But they didn't make like really groundbreaking improvements with the 3 over the 2. Not to me. With the 4, they definitely made some groundbreaking improvements in a lot of areas. Okay, so yeah, y'all let me know in the comment section y'all still rocking the Galaxy Fold. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.